Now let's talk about the workout. You've had literally hundreds of episodes on how to execute a workout. And you have been, like I've mentioned, you've shown up as this humble student. That's been your posture. But among the guests on your podcast, some people would advocate 3 to 4 exercises in a workout and training once a week. Some would advocate, 10 to 15 exercises in a workout. Some would do one set to failure and that's it. Some would say use some advanced overload techniques. Some would say compound movements primarily. Some would say you got to use single joint. You've had every conceivable take on high intensity training on your podcast, even elements like frequency. Where do you land right now on the elements of a great HIIT workout? And when I ask this, I do not mean to grow the business. I mean to really stimulate muscle strength and muscle hypertrophy. You listen to more researchers, you listen to more practitioners. What do you think the elements of a great workout are? And this doesn't have to be 3, this could be 5 to 10. What do you think is really important?
Oh, I'm going to try not to give an incredibly boring answer here, but I'm just not sure if that much variation in that template matters at all from an adaptation point of view, right? Okay, are we just looking at what do I think would be the ideal workout for building more muscle mass over time? Is that kind of, sorry for, yeah.
Let's say muscle mass and strength.
Yeah, sure. I think you and I are probably quite aligned on this to a degree. I think that probably as long as I'm not sure if it's optimal to just do multi-joint compound movements in a workout. I do think there is some value to doing more single joint for getting more recruitment out of that specific muscle. So for that reason, I think there does need to be more comprehension. But then there's balancing it with the individual's capacity. Like even myself, I'm just doing an N of 1. I find it difficult to do higher volume workouts. And I've sort of mentioned this on the podcast before. Sometimes I'm like, is it because I'm not personally trained, especially by a Discover Strength trainer, right? And I'll make and maybe if I were, I'd be able to tolerate greater volumes. I'd be more motivated. For instance, when you trained me virtually that time. But otherwise, I feel like actually I can give it more intensity if I have a more abbreviated workout. So I just tell you what I do now, and that I think is probably a good way of answering this. So right now, I do a split routine, and I'll do vertical pull and so a chin up followed by a shoulder press, and vertical push, and then I will make sure that what do I do on that workout? And then I'll do a bicep curl. So I'll do some single joint. And I'll just make sure I'm not overwhelming the muscle groups across both workouts. So in the B routine, I'm doing more. Yeah. So this is current routine, right? So manual time static contraction, neck lateral left and right. It's funny. I do this from home because I don't look like a crazy person in the gym because I currently work out in a commercial gym, right? Followed by prone trunk extensions for the lower back. I miss the MedX lumbar so much, and I don't have one near me right now. Otherwise, I would definitely use that because I don't think there's any replacement for it. Then it's chin-ups. And by the way, sometimes it's single sets of failure. Sometimes it's a rest pause. Then usually it is a follow-up set, right? It just depends on how I feel in the moment. Chins into, so that would be a supinated grip, body weight only. Plated shoulder press, a shoulder press machine, into dumbbell curl, split stance, into dumbbell lateral raise, into a prone leg curl, into abductor, right? So you can see how I'm splitting it. So then the other workout is time static contraction, neck flexion and extension into a chest press, into seated rows. So that's how I split things up like that. Into a tricep press down, into a leg press, into adductor, into leg extension, into heel raise. So I hit everything across the 2 workouts, but I split it, right? I find if I try to do full body, I just struggle with that. And maybe that is also speaking to the season of life I'm in, you know, 2 young kids, a lot of stress, business stress, my own perhaps genetics and ability to tolerate that stress and recover appropriately, sleep, etc. So that's how I do it currently. And I honestly feel that that template would probably produce produce what it can for someone in terms of muscle mass or strength. I don't think I personally do not think training, if you were to put those into one workout and do it twice a week, I'm not sure if I'm not convinced yet that would produce greater results, is how I feel. Does that answer the question fully, or do you want more no?
No, that's, how about kind of movement speed? What kind of cadence are you using?
So I normally just default to a 2-4, right? I love it all, right? I enjoy doing all sorts of different movement speeds, but right now I just keep it super simple. For me right now, the workout, again, I'm not in a place in my life where I'm like obsessed about optimizing everything. I'm almost like Skylar once said, keeping the table set. I mean, I'm still trying to improve every time and beat my last number of reps and improve my form and all the rest of it. But it's almost just about ticking the box and making it happen, because my obsession right now is growing high intensity business. And I'm almost like anything that detracts from that. I mean, I had Al Coleman offer to train me, a really, really generous offer. He presented to me on email. I mean, it's Al Coleman. Like, it would be amazing to be trained by him. But I'm just saying no to like everything. So I'm giving you more context than you've asked for, but I don't feel that's important. I just feel like right now it's like, if I feel that actually do the minutia make much difference? Probably not. So as long as I'm doing that, what I described, then I'm probably getting what I can. So
yeah, well stated.